the Aquarius Moon Gathering on your Shyt. Welcome, welcome. Again, this is Diva Rebirth. And there's just been a little bit going on in the community. And it brought us in the Sisterhood to a point where we wanted to discuss some of the issues that are plaguing, Black sisterhood in the Black community, just affecting us. Now, I'm going to touch on a few points. This is kind of just a chat and chill. I want everybody to be relaxed right now. This is not a on-guard conversation. So be relaxed, like me right now. I'm sitting here drinking some wine, chilling. I'm sorry, I had to take a sip. And I'm going to just start it off by asking, just to have you marinate on this, what do you think the issues are within the Black sisterhood? Why do you think that unity is such an impossible task for us to reach? What is the issue with yourself? The big thing we do need to discuss is accountability. I know we're all used to pointing fingers and blaming such and such, blaming the Black men, to even go back even further, blaming the white men, but no, you are a Black woman, you are the first cause. So what issues do you contribute? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm drinking some sangria, and it's really good. I know me personally, issues that I have contributed to hindering us in the sisterhood is I could not listen. I'm working on that still to this day. I did not hold my own self accountable. I would get highly offended at being checked. I'm only 24, and I am a single mother just like a lot of you are. And I had an issue with being told, well, hey, what did you contribute to your problems? What do you contribute to the problems of sisterhood, period? I argued, I cussed, I got mad. But after a while, I realized, how's that helping me? I'm still stuck in the same place. And I see a lot of other sisters doing that same thing. We all want to be the head bitch in charge. We all want to run something. And when we see another sister running something and she's actually doing a good job at it, we get offended. We start feeling insecure. We want to attack that sister. We get to a point where we feel like our home front is threatened, when in all actuality it's not. Everybody needs guidance. You cannot be a leader if you don't know how to be a follower.
Hey, this is Diva here. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Welcome.
Hey, I just wanted to say something real quick. For me, what I would contribute is the trust issue. Yeah, having difficulties trusting other women. It's like sometimes I go to the extreme. Sometimes I trust too much, and sometimes I don't trust enough. That can definitely pose some issues in, unity and sisterhood and whatnot.
Okay, so then let me ask you this, Diva Seer. Have you ever taken any action on your distrust for other sisters, or even aside from that, what has resulted from you trusting too much?
Well, I'll start with the trusting too much. Trusting too much I've been hurt, backstab, all of that kind of stuff. So right now, that's what I'm actively working on. It's my trust issues. So far, I think it's going good. And I think it helps, though, when you meet people who are real, if that makes any sense. Because beforehand, I had met really real people. But now, I feel like I'm around real people that I feel like I can trust, and feel like they mean what they say.
Right. I feel you on that. We're going to bring in Miss Diva Fire.
Hey, sisters. Peace be unto you, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight?
I am feeling good.
I'm good.
How about some of our other quiet voices on the line? I know we got a couple of sisters in here. You can call yourself according to your given Facebook name, or you can make up a name. It doesn't matter to me. Really what matters to me is, us having this moment to share and stuff. I was just listening to Diva Seer and my assistant, Diva Rebirth, who thank you to both of you all for all your hard work with Angry Divas, for, praying me up, for praying for Angry Divas, for praying for the Sisterhood, and, for, keeping confidence and just being dynamic women. Thank you. Thank you. These are two sisters from my bitch house Sisterhood, whom I absolutely adore and I would kill for. Anyhow, so I was listening to Diva Seer, and I was listening to her talk about trust issues and trusting too much and then not trusting at all. And I remember, being there myself, and a lot of my interactions with other women now it starts from the place of, first and foremost, let me make sure I'm not making myself a sacrifice. Because what happens when you're a very trusting person and when you're a very loving, generous, genuine, giving person is, unfortunately, you attract the vampires, the moths who want to chew holes into your garments, the locusts, the thieves, the lazy women who cannot come up with anything on their own, the jealous women. And when I was younger, when I was in my teens and in my 20s, it was very, very hard for me. And I found myself asking, why does this keep happening to me? Why does this keep happening to me? What am I doing wrong? And that's pretty much been the thing that saved me. I asked myself, always, I start out seeing, what is my role? What can I do? What power do I have here? Because the only thing I can control or change is me. The other thing that really helped me with that is learning to trust myself. I stopped saying I'm being judgmental when I see, like, there's a sister who, she kept kind of like penis pandering on her Facebook. And I was like, man, give your man his private, personal blowjob, okay? If I'm going to suck his dick, I'm going to suck his dick personally. I think that is a very personal act. So I'm not going to be on Facebook verbally filleting no man. And, when I said that about the sister, I thought, okay, maybe he's being harsh. These sisters are young. This is what they do. But come to find out, she's been penis pandering the whole time under the guise of calling out black men. But every time it gets a little too hot, she'll throw out a little something about her dude. And, seeing that in motion helped me to see, nope, you know what, Diva, you had it right from the jump. She's a penis panderer. She's fake. She created this thing to try and be in competition with you, and you need to be honest with yourself about that. I think part of the reason that we end up in the wrong situation with the wrong sister is we're afraid to be judgmental. Those of us who have the right to sit in the seat of judgment as the goddess divine are afraid to extend that. Meanwhile, inferior wenches, lesser bitches, are not afraid to cast judgment upon those of us who are God. mortal women with no power, gift, anointing, nor authority are casting judgment upon the goddess. But we are afraid to cast judgment upon them. We are afraid to say there is such a thing as a woman who's inferior to me, who's less than me, and who will never be God, who will never be welcome even into the inner court. They can't even be welcome into the outer court. They're sitting outside the court wall. We have got to begin to organize our sisterhood that way. Outer court, inner court, and the holiest of holy. And every woman wants to get to that space of holiest of holy, but she doesn't want to walk through the outer court first. And I have a problem with that. And I refuse to engage women outside of that particular establishment. When I established that, when I put that structure together for my sisterhood relationships, I had a lot easier time with trusting myself to make the right choice when I engage with a woman, and trusting my gift, trusting what the Spirit says to me. Even when they get on Facebook and lie, doesn't matter. I know what really went down, and I know why things transpired the way that they did, and being okay with it only being me. That was hard. I had to turn 30 before I finally got that one. But my problem with the sisterhood, where I hurt the sisterhood, is I used to enable women in their fuck shit, because I looked at women as a victim. It wasn't women's fault. It was because of men. And if men would just do this and that and the third, then maybe women wouldn't be here. So I used to enable and coddle. And that's why a lot of these sisters who knew me from the way back are pissed at me right now. I refused to coddle. The pendulum has swung the complete other direction. Now I will curse you out. I will check the fuck out of you. I will kick your ass. I will dare you to be God. And I guess that's now a problem, too, in the sisterhood. That's all I had to say for that.
Okay, that just really brought me to a good point, you know, how when you said that nobody wants to walk through the outer court. Everybody wants to be, you know, like I said earlier, the HBIP. Everybody wants to be our running. Most women, most of you listening, everybody knows there are levels to this shit. Everybody knows that. You learn, you move up, and so on and so forth. You don't know it all at first. Sometimes you need to know how to shut up and sit down and listen.
Girl, that is exactly what our problem is in the sisterhood, and I think all of us here on this particular panel can agree. And if you disagree, please do feel free to speak. But I think that's it right there. Well, everything you just said right there, that there are sisters who do not want to own that they have made a mistake, that there is something they don't know, that there are women who know more than them, and that all of that is okay. It's a part of the journey. I want to ask some of the other sisters to speak up, you know, and weigh in, tell us what you think about, you know, about that particular part. The sisters not being willing to learn and not being willing to own their mistakes being one of the greatest parts of our problem. You know, like if, say, me and you have a disagreement, Tanisha, and, you know, your point is, I don't know, I'm trying to make up an argument me and you can have right now. You know, I said that you said a chant wrong. You know what I mean? I said it's supposed to be Param, and you saying it's long, right? We get into an argument about it and why the tone doesn't matter, and, you know, the spirit is still going to hear it, and I'm all like, well, no, it's like this. It's supposed to be like this, and I'm being anal retentive, and we're not wrong, neither one of us. We just both have very strong, passionate perspective. I've been chanting forever. I'm sharing something with you. Instead of arguing with me and thinking that I'm coming at you or attacking you, the better response would be, oh, I didn't think like that. So what we're talking about is the problems that we have in the sisterhood. And, guys, we're not going to be here forever. We just wanted to hash out a couple of the issues that we're seeing and what we think is driving the problem and what we think would be a solution to that problem. And I know the Diva household has kind of hogged the line, so I'm going to ask my Diva Bitch House sisters to shut up for a little while. Everybody else can, get a word in edgewise. I love y'all. Y'all did great, but y'all put yourself on pause for a little second so everybody else can kind of join in.
Yeah. I feel... oh, sorry.
Latifah. Go ahead, Latifah.
I was going to say some of it too is knee-jerk reactions out of fear. You know what I mean? Some of what I'm seeing, especially with those of us who they say are a little bit more extreme in our views. You know what I mean? You just can't, especially where it comes to their sons and stuff. You know what I mean? And I find that as soon as you say anything that concerns one of their sons, they immediately get their backs up. And I'm not going to sit and lie and say that I was not one of those women at one time, but you grow, you do better. I'm working with you. I'll see y'all in the bitch house. I'll get there. But, you know what I mean? I see fear in a lot of them, too, and competition like nobody's business. I don't even understand it. Sometimes, but a lot of just silly competition and fear. And, that's all I have to say.
So I have a question for you, Latifah, really fast.
Mm-hmm.
Do you, because, I'm not on Facebook now. A lot of us did black out. But there has been, all this stuff going around just about Diva. Do you feel like that's the reason why a lot of these reactions aren't coming out about Diva? Just that knee-jerk reaction of just fear and attack.
Well, I think where it concerns Diva in particular is, y'all know she talks strong. You know what I mean? She's strong, so she talks strong. You know what I mean? She makes no apologies for it. And for a lot of them, that is fear. You know what I mean? But on the other side of it, there comes the competition. The competition thinks that they're just as strong as Diva, and so they're even, and, I'm on your playing field, and, yeah, we talking until they hear something that they don't like. And then all of a sudden they fall crazy. You know what I mean? A lot of them are young and they have these brand new baby boys, you know what I mean?
Right.
And they don't want to hear that. And I'm sorry if I cuss, because I do. Because I just do. But a lot of them don't want to hear that because they're, you know what I mean, they have these brand new bouncing baby boys and they're just not there yet. You know what I mean? No one is saying that you can't love what is already there. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? There's nothing you can do with new information if shit has already happened. You just have to do better. That's all the fuck you can do. And instead of doing that, they have these reactions like, Diva just told y'all to go there, just go smother him. She didn't say go smother your son, okay? You know what I mean? They're just, it's fear on their end. They're young. A lot of them are so, you know what I mean? And I don't mean like young in age. I don't mean that at all.
Right.
Some of them is just young, you know what I mean? Just really, really young.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt.
I was going to ask Karen and Tanisha to weigh in anyway, so you good.
Okay. You know what I feel about just the black woman in general. I feel that we're raised to be almost naive, to have that blind eye towards black men, to the point that when somebody suggests anything, it's just oh no, because we're raised to be that kind of way. And I feel if we open our eyes and not feel sorry for people that hurt us, why do you need to feel sorry? Why do you have to forgive someone that hurt you all the time, over and over? When is enough enough? When do you say fuck you? You know, like it's like we're embarrassed to even admit I don't like black men. It's okay to admit I don't like black men as a collective group because that's all the fuck they do. That's all the fuck they do is hurt us over and over and over, and it's okay. Why do we have to be shamed for not liking a collective group that always hurt us? It's like they're embarrassed. Like when somebody say, oh, you don't like black, oh no, I don't like black men. It's just, no, I don't like you, fuck you, and keep it the fuck pushing. I don't understand. Like, why are we embarrassed? Why are we shamed? Because
I think, Karen,
oh,
sorry, really quick, sister, you asked why, and I think, well, part of the thing that I pick up from the sisters is they really do view the black man as themselves.
Yeah.
So they feel like if I hate him, I hate me. No.
Yeah.
It reminds me of, like, we created him, okay? He's our creation.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of that section in the Bible. I can't remember if it's 1st or 2nd Kings or if it's the book of Samuel, but somewhere in that section, right, of the Bible, God says, it repented me that I made Saul king.
Yeah, I remember something like that too, reading.
You know, like, and I remember the first time I heard that, like, you mean to tell me God was ashamed of the decision that God made to anoint this man king?
Yeah.
So if God of the Bible, right, this Father God, Dick God, can do it, why can't I? He came out of my yoni. I created this man. And I think that's the other part of it too, sis, to be perfectly honest. These women are not God.
Yeah. We don't
because
have the capacity. We're human.
A God will look at this and say, I regret creating you, you sorry motherfucker. And if I had known then what I know now, I would not have let you fucking come to this planet via my womb. That's what a God can do. A God can be repentant and regret the decision that they made.
Yeah.
But these other women who are not God, who are not mastered, who are not seeking it, but want to take titles, these women who lack power but want the appearance of power, they cannot say that because they then have to deal with the fact that the black man ain't shit because my womb of all women on the planet failed to produce a man that loves me and will stand up for me and my image. Of all women on the planet, the only woman whose womb fails to do that for her is the black woman. And these women who are not God, these women who are not God can't have that conversation. I think that's the problem there. That's just my little 2 cents.
And I notice men, they're not ashamed. They're not sad. They don't feel embarrassed to, taunt our image and do all kind of foolery. They're not ashamed. So at the end of the day, if you're not ashamed, I'm not ashamed. So fuck you and fuck you. I'm sorry. And that's how I feel. Whoever don't like it, you don't gotta like it. I'm at that point in my life, because it gets tiring over and over and over.
Divestment of 2016. Tanisha?
Yes?
You want to weigh in?
Well, what I feel is a lot of black women, they fear greatness. And I notice a lot of black women, they feel uneasy when they are in the midst of sisters who think so much of themselves, They're so used to thinking so less of themselves that when they see another sister who thinks less of themselves, it's almost like scary for them. You know what I'm saying? They're afraid of weakness. I speak to a lot of sisters, and trying to motivate black women specifically is like very, very difficult sometimes because a lot of them are, have low self-esteem. They really were not taught to be great, think great, and just be great, and without a man involved. Because of course, a lot of people think that a man validates a woman. So she don't have to be validated by nobody but herself, and she can be great. And a lot of black women don't really want to be great. That's why they running behind black men the way they do.
Y'all remember the movie Beloved, right? This just makes me think about that movie. I remember when I first seen it, though, it scared the shit out of me. I was like, 4 or 5 years old. But y'all remember, and I want you to weigh in on this, Denisha, specifically. Y'all remember when Oprah killed her baby? When she killed Beloved, rather than having the slave master take her. You know, that was like one of the most horrific things in the movie. She knew she would rather her child die than go through that hell. Now, this takes place back then, but black women still knew. They still had that capacity. What do you think changed that, Tanisha? Like, what happened? I heard you touch on fear, and that is a big part. That's a big-ass part of it.
That's a very big part of it. Like I said, a lot of them fear themselves. And like I said, I think it's because we are underloved in the community. You know what I'm saying? Black men, a lot of people give a lot of love to black men in the community. You know what I'm saying? They place their needs above black women. And they started with the boys and the girls, you know. So I just feel that, a lot of sisters fear greatness. And what changed that, possibly where we stopped caring about women and caring about our daughters and switching it to the boys. And, you know, a lot of black women fear their sons being, you know, attacked by, you know, white supremacy. But it's like they don't really fear that from the black girls. So they've been placing themselves above the girls as more of a priority. And that's, I think it's kind of changed there, you know, and that probably didn't happen. Yes.
Nisha, can I touch on that real quick? This is Diva Fire. Something you said, it put a shiver up my spine when I realized why the black daughter is not seen as someone valuable or worthy of protection from white supremacy, but the black son is. Because the black mother is willing to endure. And if her black female self can take it, why not her daughter?
Right. I can see that.
But go ahead, sis. It just gave me a chill thinking about it. You know, because mother tolerates and long suffers through injustice, inhumanity, degradation, disrespect, lack of loyalty, lack of love from the black man. Her daughter should be able to tolerate it too. But nobody better lay a finger on her son, her butterfinger.
The apple of her eye. And I think that a lot of black mothers may even have resentment, you know, from what they face from their mothers. And then that also plays a part in how they undervalue their black girls more than their black sons.
Which then translates into our sisterhood. Because, you know, the sisters, there's a 666 sister who put a comment in the thread that said, don't worry, y'all, this hoe will be found dead in her closet, hung by her belt, or with foam come out from a bunch of pills. And all of this over me simply saying, let's stop having sons. So this sick, sadistic black woman, if she is a black woman at all, this sick, sadistic woman on Facebook who would say something like that about me, did it just and only for the black son. I didn't say, go in your house, grab your best pillow and smother your fucking kid. I didn't say, tie a noose and hang your teenagers. I didn't say, get a gun and blow your son's brains through the fucking house. I simply said, let's stop having them. I'm going to share with you all part of why I said that. That same day, a sister called me. A sister with a 3-year-old son, a crystal child, a special child, a mama's son. Her son was out, you know, it's summertime, the kids are playing, you know. He sees some dude in the neighborhood, and he walks up being a friendly baby, like babies are friendly, okay? I was a friendly little kid. I said hi to everybody, walked past. And it broke my heart when they didn't speak back. I didn't understand adults. Still don't understand you suckers, but that's not the point. The baby walks up to him, he says, hi, what's your name? The grown-ass man says to the 3-year-old, these nuts. The 3-year-old says, okay, tells him his name, and runs back to playing. The next time he goes by, him and his mama are together that same day that I wrote that shit, August 6th. Him and his mama are walking by, and the dude and his homies or whatever doing what dudes do, hanging on the block, smoking, talking shit, making a lot of trouble, making noise, not really doing nothing, right? Holding up space, wasting air. And the baby says, "Hi, these nuts," to the man, because he's 3, and he didn't realize the man was fucking with him. The mother goes the hell off. "You taught my fucking son that shit, nigga." She lost it. And she called me, and I was so pissed. I said, we got to stop having babies. We've got to stop giving these fuckers sons to corrupt. We've got to be responsible for the fact that we know that these men are ridiculous. We know that they're the greatest danger and threat to every single living black person on the planet. Per capita, they kill more of us than anybody else. Per capita, they rape more of us than anybody else. Per capita, they abandon more of our children than anybody else. So we have got to be God in spirit and in womb. We can't let this happen anymore. I was pissed. Like, you know what? We just got to stop having any goddamn sons, period. Because until these bastards can value us birthing their legacy, this is his whole genetic future. He would die out if not for us, making this sacrificial effort to preserve his genetic future and using our bodies to do so. And they don't value it. Black boys are shot down by other black boys in the street more than any white cop could ever take out. Let's be honest here. In Chicago, in a weekend, 47 black people killed. Let's be real. That's just Chicago. This pisses me off. I can't help but get incensed. And I feel, since we are the gods manifest in the flesh, nigga, in the form of double X, nigga, let's stand up and be that God in spirit and in womb. That requires darkness. The black woman has got to stop lusting after being a chocolate-dipped white bitch. I'm putting it out there. Stop lusting after being a chocolate-dipped white woman and get back to your dark roots. Get back to that darkness upon the deep. Our ancestral mothers threw babies in the water before they let them live in slavery. And y'all are over here crying instead of asking, how do we do it? How do we birth only girls? There are women on this planet with little girls because they knew when to have the baby. And if they didn't know, they knew to contact the priestess, such as myself, to learn these things. But we don't want to do that. We want to continue on and rabble. Whenever somebody comes up with solutions, then bitch about a lack of solutions. And that is because the black woman likes to destroy what's good for her and uphold what's not good for her. And it's not until each and every single black woman divests from that self-sabotage program that we will see any difference, however you divest. But people are going to get emotional and react instead of logical and having their objectives over their emotions. That is what we're seeing here now.
Exactly. It's this I live in La La Land and me single-handedly I can change the world. That's not how this works. And as a mother of daughters, you see, I don't have a son. As a mother of daughters, I'm sorry, I'm going to be honest, I can't get with that. I can't get with the coddling. I can't get with the well, what am I supposed to do? Because here's my thing. I have daughters. If anything happens to my daughters at the hands of your sons, because you think you could single-handedly change the world, we're going to have an issue. Because now you're warring against me. And that's all this really is. There is no patriarchy.
Nope, it's just the women warring each other. Girl, you took the words out of my mouth. You took the words out of my mouth. It is the women going to war with each other, and one woman is using her son to cut down the other. And they know it, and they're okay with it. Because, see, part of the reason they want to continue to be, like I call chocolate-dipped white chicks, instead of that darkness upon the deep blackness that we are, is because it requires study and mastery. And then it requires you to take change and charge over your life. And as long as they can be out here in ignorance, they can say stupid stuff like, I had a conversation with a sister who has a son, and she said, if he grows up and goes rogue, the patriarchy has to have him. I said, what the hell does that mean for the daughter? I said, see, y'all are not God. I can't have a son because I'm going to tell you right now, I would kill him. You disrespect a woman, I'm going to cut your fucking throat. You're not going to live and breathe on this planet after I sacrificed to bring you here. And you treat the mothers of this planet and this race like a piece of gum on your shoe. Like you stepped in a dog crap pile. I'll cut your throat first. So I won't be having any sons because men have created laws called illegal, and women would turn on me because they're not God enough to say, I brought you in this world, I'll take you out if you go against what I taught you. They're not God enough, and that's why people got a problem with me, because I actually am. That's why I won't breed. I can't do it. I won't, because I'd kill them. I would kill them. I would not allow my son. The sisters say, I'll let the patriarchy have him. No. You go into the grave. Now, that's frightening, isn't it? Isn't that frightening?
Mm-hmm. But it's honest, and it's real.
Diva Phoenix come in. Diva Phoenix, welcome, sis. I just heard you come in. I know you just got in from work and stuff. And it got a little turned up. I was supposed to not speak at all because we knew that.
I love it that way. I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm sorry I walked my ass on here all late.
The thing that I hope that people take away from this, I mean, they're going to take away whatever they want, and they're going to do what they want with it. But so for the people who are not ignoramus dumbasses, those of you who are God that are hearing me, understand I'm broadcasting on all frequencies, on all channels. And what I want you to take away from this is that you have the power to create your own personal universe. There are many verses within universes, multiverses within many universes. And I want you to know that and remember that you have the power of personal universes. So whatever your universe is, if your universe is that you are the mother of a son, be God in spirit and in womb. If your universe is that you are the mother of a daughter, be God in spirit and in womb. If your universe is that you have no damn children, hail us, be God in spirit and in womb. Whatever your life is, whatever your choices are, that's the point. The point is not for you to think like me, but for you to get thinking, because you weren't before I said something. I just want to plant the seed and watch it grow. I am a tree in that way. I don't know if you ever pay any attention to trees. You should. I'm telling you, you'll learn so much about yourself, about us as the first cause and the first principle, about the dark divine feminine being the first cause and the first principle. But when the trees go to seed, they go to seed wherever the seed lands. They don't give a damn if that seed lands in a plot of soil that's right up next to the foundation of your house, and that tree begins to root into your foundation of your house and destroy it. They don't care. They're just going to go to seed wherever they go. That is nature. That is the way of the wild woman or the savage woman. We want to be so neat and contained in Mother Teresa, Mother Mary. We got to get out of that. That's not us. Our mothers were dark and lovely. King Solomon said it himself, black girl, thou art dark, but comely. We have got to return to the darkness upon the deep. People are afraid of the dark because they want to project all of their bullshit and their ignorance onto it. Oh, if you're dark, then you got to kill your son. No, you ignorant son of a somebody. That's what you're going to say so that you never have to actually be God. And that's all right. Maybe you're never going to be God. Maybe you've only been meant to be here as someone else's slave and puppet. That's fine. Go your way. Eat the fat and drink the sweet. But for those who are God in spirit and in womb, divinity in motion, I'm broadcasting on all channels and all frequencies. Whatever your personal universe, be God in spirit and in womb. Thank you to everybody who joined tonight, everybody who said something, even the sisters who turned up, me who turned up, the sisters who kept it calm. Thank you for bringing your calm and energy. I give thanks to the spirit of Mami Wata. I give thanks to the spirits of the fire, to the chief angel Uriel of fire. I give thanks to the earth, to Tarawat. I give thanks to the spirit of the air. Oya, blow your winds of change. Let there be peace between me and my sisters, from everlasting to everlasting. And let all who hear this be increased, who wish us well, and all who wish us harm May not only the lessons of life befall them, but may every heinous, evil, vile word that they have spoken against me be visited upon them 100,000-fold. As I am, as I will, so if I want, so mote it be.